What's the boy's name? How do you pronounce it?
Piero.
Is it?
Yeah, because he changed it to French and then German, so it's actually quite confusing. So I do think it's Piero.
Piero.
Yeah. I even study French, but I can't say his name. Piero.
Pierre.
Piero.
That's called Peter.
The Boy on Top of the Mountain is about a boy called Pierrette, and his mother and father die, and so he has to go to Germany to his aunt, and his aunt lives in Hitler's house.
Oh my god, I loved it, and it's great because it shows how children back then were how they literally had to adapt to Nazi Germany. And this boy, his father was full German, but his mother was French. So when he went to go and live with Hitler, he had to pretend the whole life didn't exist.
Well, in terms of historical points, I'd say the book was very accurate.
Yeah, I think it portrayed almost a different aspect, something that we wouldn't consider, because we would consider Hitler was bad, he did this, he didn't like anyone that wasn't German.
It's a really good storyline, and there's like at the end, I really like the end of it the best.
Who's your favourite character?
I think it was Hitler, probably. He sort of was a bit more humane and loving almost towards the boy.
It goes right up to when the war's over and how Hitler died. Spoiler alert. Wow. Really?
Yeah. The whole book.
I'd say maybe 13, 14 up.
Yeah, I think it could be a bit difficult for anyone maybe under 10. Yeah.
I'd recommend this book to like people our age, between like 11, maybe 12 and 13.
Yeah, the 11 to 15-year-olds.
To be honest, it's probably our favourite book.
Yeah,
it's like, even out of The Boy on Top of the Mountain or Asking for this book, even though it's for ages under 12, it's
a lovely
up
book.
there.
Yeah, and the drawings especially.
My favourite character is definitely Fred. From his point of view, you kind of see that he's kind of scared that he's going to lose his friend and kind of be alone again. But he's really happy when he finds out that he is like two new best friends.
But then it's also like there's a strong moral behind it, because he doesn't want to lose his person, because he's an imaginary friend and he knows he's going to disappear one day.
I really recommend it to my mum and dad and my little brother, and he absolutely loves it. Like when I got it to read, I read it to him for bedtime, and he loves it.
I just
It's
think
so funny, like it's a really funny book.
Yeah, and they have like little jokes and all, even in the drawings,
Yeah.
like when they perform on stage, and it's just imaginary friends and no one else can see them but the people who is them, and they're just like, people are like, what's this?
Yeah, because
but there's only two people who understand.
Yeah, because they call themselves a quartet group, and that's 4 people. So if someone sees 2 people and says, "Why is it called the quartet group?"
Like,
and just like
they
it's
just
a private
don't
joke.
get
I think the drawings are really creative of the imaginary Fred, and I think it's really funny and cute.
And I like the way that it's nice and short and simple.
Noco School is an Irish book about a little bear going to school, and he's very nervous and he wants his mum to bring him to school, and then she goes into school with him, and then she doesn't want to leave and she gets very upset.
Go first. I liked that it was our native language, and that it was quite easy to read, and that anyone can read it if they try.
I really think it's about him getting ready for school, and then he kind of gets a bit scared of going to school, and his mum is a bit nervous as well, and so she goes with him, and she kind of has a tantrum in school in front of the teacher, and she's sent home.
Well, I thought it was sort of funny the way it was reversed, but it wasn't like one that you'd sort of laugh out loud at.
My favourite character is the boy because he eventually finds a way to get his mum, and first he was nervous and then it turns around.
Now, if you're reading it, I'd probably suggest it to, kids in primary school, even if it's low babies, junior infants, first class, second class, or maybe even third. I think it's a good start to get them to know Irish.
Yeah.
And it's a fun way. It's not a boring way where it's just on the board. What's ill.
Yeah, it's fine. It's really loud.
Well, I liked it because it was full of facts and really cool illustrations, and I learned loads of stuff I didn't even know about Ireland and my county as well.
I like this page because I like going to Clonus for my holidays, and I really like going to see the tower.
I like all the food because it's Irish food, and this is my favourite book, and I gave it 10 out of 10.
I liked the bit about Oliver Plunkett's head in one of the churches in Drogheda, and I know of it because I've seen it a good few times.
I would think tourists from all around the world should get this book and read about all the different counties.
Do you think she was asking for?
Oh. Okay.
I think it tackled something that's very important in today's society. I mean, the whole issue of rape culture is something that's been really prevalent recently. The way that women can be objectified in the media, and there's so many different issues going on in society, and reference to this theme.
The book's about a girl named Emma, a teenage girl who likes to go out with her friends. On one of her nights out, she accepts drugs from an older boy and ends up getting raped by him and his friends.
She wasn't asking for it because no one asked for it, to be raped. But the way she got raped was it wasn't like they held her down. She took drugs, and
she wasn't aware.
Yeah, I felt instead of the actual story, it was focusing on the social agenda aspect of it. It wasn't really the kind of story was sub to the actual ideological thing.
She wasn't. Yeah,
in
she
a
wasn't
state of
aware.
mind,
Yeah, that's true.
That's why consent is important.
Yeah, but she wasn't asking for it though.
The main character, Emma, I think she is realistic because, the kind of main popular kind of people are often the main victims of rape because they can be targeted more because they're at a higher position, people will want to bring them down, So I think in terms of her and her position in, her social status and how popular she is, I think that's realistic in a way. And as well, at the start, she's not a likeable person, the way that she acts and the way that she talks about her friends and everything. So I think to not make her, a nice, likeable character is something that was very realistic about the book.
What do you think of the cover? Because it's a Barbie doll, half of a Barbie doll.
Yeah, because Emma was popular and pretty and, Perfect, yeah, in people's eyes.
It's disappointing from a reader's point of view because obviously Emma doesn't get any justice. She drops the case, and so you're obviously feeling quite disappointed with that. But at the same time, I think that it was a good ending because it sort of showed how these cases do tend to pan out, which I thought was very good.
I want to know what happens afterwards. How did she deal with it? What happened to the guys who raped her? And it was a bit of a letdown.
A cliffhanger?
Yeah, cliffhanger, yeah.
See, this is why you don't leave cliffhangers unless there's a sequel.
Well, it's about this girl, Letta, and she used to live with a wordsmith, but he died supposedly, so she becomes a wordsmith now.
and it's about her going on an adventure when she meets new people, and there's like a town outside of where she lives and they have no words, so it's like all about what she gets up to there. She also has to try and stop this man called John Noah from stealing all the words from everybody, because he thinks that the words were a cause of breakouts in the people, so he wants everyone to be good behaved, so he's going to take away all the words.
It was a well-written book because it's like a real-life problem, and it's a really good thing to think about.
I really enjoyed the book because I found it really different, and it stood out from the others since it's based in the future. I really love these books, and it's fiction as well, and that's something I really love.
I think it's good for about 11 to, about 15.
I really think that Letta is a good role model for girls because she's really kind and sweet. So if you wanted someone to look up to, I definitely read this book because she can like stand up for herself at the same time and then also be like one of the nicest people you'd ever meet.
It's kind of funny in parts of it and on the postcards that the crayons were saying.
Yeah, it was good the way the text was kind of written with the crayons.
And it was really funny because each of the crayons had their own personality and each of them was like super different. It was really funny.
Well, it's about this boy, and he was drawing a picture, but crayons are misplaced about the house.
I thought it was a really clever idea to actually have the postcards and like the colour of the crayon on the postcards.
I like this one because the writing was nearly different with every word, and it was funny the way they were shaped and melted together.
On the postcard, it was really funny because one of them got lost around the world, so it was very weird, that crayon.
Well, I have a younger sister at home and I read her some picture books, so it definitely has encouraged me to read more picture books to her.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I really like the illustrations, and this is kind of a simplified version of the older book, so it's a lot easier to read. So like if you were a younger child and you wanted to know what the story was about, you could just pick up this version instead of the longer one.
I thought it was a really good book because my little sister really enjoyed the illustrations, and I liked the way that you could still get a sense of the classic story in it. And I liked the way that the pictures sort of showed more than it said in the text. Like this one, it showed when you get saved, it also shows an octopus.
I really liked this picture. It shows where he's being tied down by the little people. And it's quite funny because they're so much smaller than him, but yet they're able to overpower him, which is kind of funny.
I like the pictures when he's like trying to get through the village, but all the people in the houses are very small and he's trying to not step on them.
I would recommend it to anyone who likes adventure.
I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
That's one. I wasn't happy-ish with the ending. No, the ending was great, but I thought it would be really cool though if we seen what it was like after everything happened. Like she could even like bring out another book in either John's perspective or Yasmin's perspective, or even her sister Dragon. Because I think that would be really cool to see it from their perspective as well. So yeah, I think there should be like another book.
They pretty much have 4 arms.
2 legs.
Only 2 legs, so it's all that they have. Oh.
It's all
they share legs. They share their legs, so...
It's only their like midriff that's conjoined.
So it's a hard life. Because I'd hate to be a twin like that.
Oh.
What did I like? How she mentioned that she mentioned other types of Siamese twins, and she's like, she just realizes like wait, she can't find love because there was two these guys joined from chest to chest, but they still got married and they had like 21 kids.
21 kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was Oh, Chang and
Chang and
In.
Oh yeah, now I remember that was at the start of the book.
The Bunker Twins.
Yeah.
21 kids.
21 kids. Yeah.
I love the way it went into detail, like slight little things you begin to notice, especially about her sister Dragon.
Yeah.
And there's stuff going on with Dragon, but because this big situation is happening with Tippy and Grace, that the parents don't notice it. They're more focused on the twins, but it just shows that I think maybe the parents should have been more aware of their other children. I actually thought it was pretty funny though when she realised that she had a crush on
John.
On John. I thought that was hilarious.
Well,
because
that
I
was so
like,
sweet though.
Yeah, I know it's sweet and all,
So
but here's me
sweet.
going, how's that going to work? Like if they were older, like, could you imagine the complicated whole thing about it? It's like, yeah. What's her name? Grace, you want to go out for a cup of tea? Yeah, I just have to ask Tippy first.
Yeah, but then you seen Tippy, like she had an interest in Shane, but then Shane just disappeared.
Yeah. So it's like Tippy
was
likes
sick,
older
yeah.
men. Tippy likes older men, but Grace is like, hello, John.
They have like different personalities, so like it was kind of like good to see.
Yeah, it shows that they're both their own person.
Yeah.
The only thing that's connected is
It's
literally
just-
their legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.